Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo.
If you're just taking away the moments that make up a dull day, don't just sit there and fritter and waste your hours in an offhand way. You should check out the Mafia Minute, home of all true Bills Mafia fans. I'm Magnum Mills here with Jamie G to talk all things Buffalo Bills. The Mafia Minute is presented by Seize the Gap Fantasy Football. You can find us wherever you get your pods and on YouTube. We are on social media at Seize the Gap FF. Do not forget your superstitions every week. Whether or not the Bills win or lose totally depends on you doing the same thing every time when they win. Very important. Don't forget it. And don't forget the flaps. Follow, like, and please subscribe. It's all we ask. If you want to show that you're true blue, a real part of the Bills Mafia, please don't forget to give us that thumb. If you have fun, listen to us talk about your favorite team, the Buffalo Bills. Jamie G, how are you doing? And how much did you enjoy this Week 14 victory over your favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs?
Hey, let's go Buffalo. Oh, I'm doing great, enjoying this victory Monday. What a game. What an absolute game. Playoff-like energy and atmosphere and intensity. This was a fun one. We knew it was going to be. Every time these two teams play, it makes for just absolutely fantastic football. It's hard sometimes when you're a fan because you're just so emotionally involved, but this was just a great game, and I think it was the game of the week, and I'm so happy that the Bills came out on the winning side, and I'm happy that their victory came with, you know, just an absolute just temper tantrum, just kind of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes embarrassing themselves, really for the first time I've ever seen them do that throughout their tenure there in Kansas City. So happy that the Bills caused them to break like that, and even happier we got the win. Go Bills.
Yeah, Andy Reid walked it back a little bit today, but you were referring to, I guess, Mahomes after the game got caught on cam talking to Josh Allen, telling him it was bullshit or whatever. Is that what you are referring to?
Oh, throwing it. He had to be held back by teammates.
Yeah, I know him yelling on the side, but there was something he got caught in a hot mic moment with Josh Allen where he was kind of like, you got lucky kind of deal.
Yeah, it was disrespectful to Josh. And then his post-game presser, your boy Jamie G. Esquire the fifth is all about taking these refs to the highest level of court. Let's take them to the Supreme Court and sue their asses for terrible officiating. I am all for it. Call it out when it happens. But the fact that they're calling out such a blatant, obvious penalty, they're not even denying it was a penalty. They're basically saying it shouldn't have been called, which is absolutely lunacy to me. If you don't want a ticky-tacky call at a big moment in a game, then go ahead and return your Super Bowl win from last year, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. You won the Super Bowl on a ticky-tacky technical play at the last minute in the biggest moment of the game. Let's be real. Was it a hold by Bradbury? Sure. Should they have called it? Probably not. This was so egregious, him lined up in the neutral zone. Let's ignore the fact that there was a formation penalty with the right tackle lined up behind the center. All right, so let's just forget that it was legal formation. And let's forget that Tony not only lined up past the football in the neutral zone, he actually had an illegal pick 17 yards down the field, which opened up Travis Kelce. So let's just forget all those things. But they're barking up the wrong tree. What are you doing? This was all their frustration from last week when there should have been a pass interference call. Absolutely. I hate the Chiefs, and I'll say that. But this absolutely, this is a no-brainer. What are we talking about? Be mad at your coaching staff, be mad at yourselves, and be mad at Tony. Be mad at your teammates, man. You guys lost by making critical mistakes. It's a difference in football.
Second game this year, Tony has cost him, really. He had the opener against Detroit where they were getting back in control, and he had the bobble drop basically that went the other way. And then here, what he's supposed to do there is check with the ref to make sure he is lined up okay. He did not do that. That's on him. He's supposed to do that. And then they'll tell you, you need to get back or more. And the line judge, like, he was so far out there that I couldn't see the football. That's why it was so egregious. It's obvious. Like, if you're, again, it's like if you were just laying on the end line in the NBA or something like that. You see half the dude sneaker over the line and you're like laying there with your eye on the line and you can't see the other side of it because it's there. they would only call it if it was that egregious. So it's like when they call an off ball start everyone but the center or whatever kind of deal. It's just so blatant that there's nothing else you can do about it. So they should not be crying over that spilt milk. That's not what costs the game.
And the other thing too is it's not like they called it after the play, came to fruition. They threw the flag immediately as soon as the ball was snapped.
Yeah, the on-screen notification came up before Kelsey threw the lateral. You already saw the little flag, the little yellow joint that popped up on the broadcast that already popped up.
Yes.
I expected it to be a holding, but same difference, I guess.
To me, it's a really bad look. And I think it's disrespectful to the Buffalo Bills to try to come out and say that they won on some sort of call that was a terrible call against Kansas City. You got to be kidding me. It's disrespectful to your opponent. Have some class. I'm really surprised by what seems to be a very classful organization overall. This is an incredibly bad look for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and I love that it came at the hands of the Bills. That's enough about talking about these bums. Let's move on and talk about the greatest franchise in sports history, the Buffalo Bills.
I mean, they're pretty good. They're flying a little bit high here. You have to like that they got off to kind of a fast start. They didn't score on their first drive, but they came out. Kansas City was driving the ball. They had that early pick right, gets knocked in the air. AJ Epinesa comes down with it. That was pretty big. And then finally you come out on the next drive, score the touchdown. You got the lead early. That was one of your keys to victory, and you never gave it up. They did manage to tie the game. You never relinquished that lead. Huge against the Chiefs, who had been very good in the first half of games on offense and terrible in the second halves. That was good. The pick at the end of the first half was probably the biggest mistake of the whole game, right? That one definitely for a minute there felt like it was going to really turn things because then they got that late touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think Josh Allen for 2 weeks in a row has played incredible football minus one mistake. And the mistake happens to be in both games, a costly interception at the wrong time. Luckily, the team was able to respond. But it really sucked. It felt like that game was going to be maybe 14-0, 17-0 heading into the half. Instead, it ended up being 14-7. So I think that's a big mistake. But I really like the turnover battle in general. The Bills won, forcing some turnovers. Not easy to do against that offense. So really thought that was an important part of this game was winning that. The big plays, right? We talked about it. There was a couple of huge plays, huge moments, and it was whoever was going to make the more of these type of plays was going to win, kind of, right? And you see, the incredible throw by Josh Allen, one of the craziest plays. Everyone wants to talk about the lateral at the end that didn't happen. I think the craziest play in this game was Josh Allen on a third down in a critical moment of the game, pinned back on Kansas City's side of the field, scrambling and buying enough time to throw the ball on a fadeaway 30 yards down the field to Latavius Murray. That was just an unbelievable play. And luckily, I'm not sure I know what a catch is in the NFL anymore. It seems like that rule changes every week depending on what game you're watching. Luckily, the officials ruled that one a catch.
I will, just to play devil's advocate for a second, say, while that play by Josh Allen falling out of bounds, lofting that ball to Latavius Murray was amazing, the only thing that was truly unbelievable, the only thing in this game I'm like, that could not have possibly happened, is when Kelsey threw that lateral and Kadarius Toney caught it. I could not believe he caught it. I was more surprised about that than I was in necessary roughness when Featherstone catches the deep pass. It was shocking. I just could not believe it. My mind was blown when Toney caught that. So of course it wouldn't count because Toney caught the ball. If that had counted and he scored, the universe would have just imploded. So we're glad we're still here. We're all alive in the universe because of that penalty that he committed on himself, taking away his own touchdown. It's so ironic that Alanis Morissette's going to start a tour on it.
She really should. One last big notable play for me was just the Josh Allen touchdown run. I mean, dude, you just run into a double linebacker blitz, and you just drag people churning without much help from your line. It wasn't even like the entire team was pushing him. He just dragged grown defenders into the end zone for his second touch for that second touchdown. One of the wildest Josh Allen plays you can see on a list of just, we've been so fortunate, Bills Mafia. I know when times are bad, it's easy to point fingers and get down, but we have been so fortunate the last 5-6 years of being able to watch this guy play quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. There is a long list of wild Josh Allen plays, and we got a couple more in this game.
Yeah, and shout out the big strip on Rashee Rice down the stretch. That was a big one.
Yeah, yeah, big one, big one. We got close against Philadelphia. I thought that might have been a fumble against AJ Brown there in overtime. Didn't get ruled that way. This one clearly was. Really, really like the Bills, making a play when they needed to on defense. And it was let's be real, dude. This was a tough week for the Bills defense, right? I mean, this was the team in general, right? You had a article come out basically attacking Sean McDermott's character. Everyone's down on defense because a couple times this year, New England most notably, and then Philadelphia, the defense playing with the lead there to close it out and couldn't. So I really respect and appreciate how they came out and won this game.
Yeah, and James Cook, is this the best game of his NFL career so far?
I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be. I mean, he did everything, right? I mean, 10 carries for 58 yards, right? That's just a cool, clean 5.8 yards a clip, 5 receptions on 5 targets, caught everything passed his way, 83 yards and a tutty. This is major production on a Bills offense against a really good defense in Kansas City. I think this is absolutely a James Cook breakout game and gets you excited. I mean, it's noticeable when he's not on the field. I like the pop that they get from Ty Johnson. I like when Latavius Murray comes in the game. He's effective in blocking on third downs. He's effective in the passing game when we need a couple yards. He's still got some wiggle to him. I really like how he runs the football. But it's obvious when Cook isn't in this game. He adds a spark, a level of speed, and he's just a really talented guy. So proud of you, James Cook. Way to play your best game in the most important game. Now go do it again against Dallas.
Yeah, and very nice to see him come down with a catch on that wheel route, very similar to a pass that he dropped last week. So nice to see him get a little bit of redemption on that one. Final thing before we move on to the Mafia moment, Dawson Knox return. What did you think of his impact on the offense? Is this kind of indicative of how they're going to do things going forward, or are they kind of easing him in, or what do you think the I shouldn't say long term, but rest of the season impact on the offense of the return of Knox is?
I think Knox does a lot, like a lot of players on this offense. He does a lot of things that don't show up in the scoreboard in terms of his stats, in terms of his receptions, in terms of his yardage, that kind of stuff. I think he was critical on a couple of blocks. And it's just nice to have a player of his size back on the field and skill set. Dalton Kincaid has emerged. He's here. You can't take him off the field. It's clear that this team goes to him in critical moments. And guess what? He's earned it, and they should. He has been extremely impressive in his rookie campaign. And it was really Knox going out that the Bills kind of found out, right? And that's nothing against Knox. Knox is a fine tight end. And in a league of tight ends that, you struggle to find a decent tight end, I think Knox is a good one. I really like this room for the Buffalo Bills. But Knox, even at full health, I don't think you can take Kincaid off the field. I just don't. It's too big of a weapon.
Yeah, it seems that most of the loss will probably come on some of the ancillary wide receivers. Everyone from Gabe Davis to Shakir on down will probably see a little bit less. Although we did see, a little bit from Sherfield and Hardy here. So they used the whole gang this week.
Yeah, they did. And, look, I think teams are going to have to make some hard decisions when they face the Buffalo Bills going down the stretch here. And if the Bills are able to sneak in the playoffs, you're going to look at this team and say, okay, I have to just figure out a way to take away Diggs. And I have to figure out a way to limit Kincaid. Well, now you've got a problem with the Bills can run the football. They've had success running it kind of on and off throughout the year. And I think this is the best since I've seen them run the football with Josh Allen at quarterback, other than Josh Allen running the football. So I really think that this is going to create some problems. And the fact that he's being so patient and evolving as a quarterback and Josh Allen and his maturity, 9 different receivers in this game. I think this is, again, terrible for fantasy, outstanding for the Buffalo Bills offense. And you're going to see guys, 1 week, maybe Shakir has a big day. 1 week, maybe, you start to see, Gabe Davis emerge. Diggs is still going to have his days. So I think they're just going to, not force it and spread it around for better or worse.
I am there for that. And I want to know what you were there for in week 14. Jamie G, big win over the Chiefs. What was your Mafia moment from the victory? Your favorite moment, your most memorable moment. The criteria is yours. Mafia moment, week 14.
Man, there's been some outstanding ones here, but I got to give it up for my guy. That's my quarterback. That's our quarterback, ARE. Shout out Bills Mafia. I got to give it up for his run into the touchdown, his rushing touchdown, just dragging half of Kansas City's defense on his back, churning his legs, will not be stopped. That's Josh Allen, dude, and that's what he does.
I did like the little bit where the corner got the clean blitz off the edge and he did the little pirouette and made
And he,
McDuffie made him fall down. I mean, he just threw it away. It was a nothing play, but that was a fun one to watch. Because that was like a
absolutely,
Madden or
dude.
something where you dive too early and you miss the guy, and then he starts
He
running
twisted him
around.
up, man. He twisted him up. That was a very very cool little moment. I like that too.
Well, what else is very cool is when we put something on our Mafia mannequin. We only do this after a Buffalo Bills victory. They won this week, so Jamie G is going to have to add something to our mannequin, who started out butt-ass naked, and now he's got a bunch of great Buffalo Bills swag. He, right now, from top to bottom, is rocking a nice little Bills bucket hat, some Bills shades. He's got the Buffalo neck tattoo. He's got a sick-ass gold rope chain, old school Thurman Thomas jersey, couple of receiver practice gloves. He's got some Buffalo Bills chicken wing boxer briefs. He's got a practice sock. He's got a Josh Allen sock, and he has a bag of fuck the refs on ground coffee beans. Good stuff. It's a real thing. You should buy it. Check it out. Jamie G, we're running out of room on the mannequin here. What are you going to put on him this week?
Running out of real estate, but one thing that we know is happening is it's getting cold, cold, cold. Winter's coming, and you got to be bundled up when you go to tailgate for Bills Mafia, baby. You got to be ready to go. I know the bowling ball shots and cooking the pizza and the filing cabinet and all that. I get that will keep you warm, but you got to be dressed for winter. Give me the old school overall Bills, Zubaz. Give me those, man. Let's put those on this guy. Let's get our mannequin ready for tailgating with all of Bills Mafia this coming Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. Let's do it.
That's a nice little throwback reference too, because back in the day, years and years ago, at least in the 80s, I used to know a group of people who would go to games and they usually would wear these really thick overall pants, which either you'd use if you're like plowing snow or hunting in the winter. I mean, these really heavy diesel overalls. And they had a contest. This is back before metal detectors were getting patted down or anything. Who could sneak the most beers into a Bills game? And somebody eventually won. They stuck an entire case, 24 cans of beer on their person via some big overhauls like this. So I think it's very apropos that the mannequin is going to rock some overalls.
Shout out, dude. Bills fans are the best, man. I mean, that's how hard that is to do. Like that's
The
that's
story of the
incredible.
Bills fans getting let back into the stadium after halftime of when a lot of people left to come back against the Oilers is still just a great story about how the fans all just came back basically and just berated them into letting them back in.
Greatest comeback in NFL history.
That brings us to the Week 15 tail of the tape. The Buffalo Bills are at home against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, December 17th, 2023. Game starts at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. Weather looks unknown right now a little bit. Doesn't look like we're going to get heavy precipitation. Could be some wind. If you're going to do something with this game, make sure you double check when we get closer, because the weather in Western New York can change on a dime at this time of the year. If you're actually looking to get some money down in the game, right now the Buffalo Bills are favored by 1.5 points. They're minus 125 on the money line. Game total is 48.5 points. So obviously the Dallas Cowboys are 1.5 point underdogs. They're plus 105 on the money line. Again, game total of 48.5. As far as injuries, the Buffalo Bills have a couple guys we have to keep an eye on here. Dalton Kincaid, he had a little shoulder thing, had x-rays after the game, have not heard anything else as of yet. Micah Hyde left the game with a stinger. Don't know anything further on that either. And AJ Epinesa had a rib injury, did return to the game, but something you want to keep an eye on. On the Dallas side of the ball, defensive tackle Jonathan Hankins is probably what I would call doubtful, with a high ankle sprain he picked up against the Eagles. Jamie G, you know it's that time. You know my keys. Jamie G, I need those keys to victory for Week 15, dude. Get out of the dreams and get into the keys or whatever, to paraphrase our man.
The legend, Billy Ocean. And we may not be the ocean, but we are the Niagara Falls, and we are coming hard Dallas, you're going to have to get out of the comfort of your dome, and you're going to have to travel up to Orchard Park, and you got to take on the Bills in New York, okay? And I'm talking Western New York. I'm talking lake effect. I hope the weather's terrible. It's still too early to know what's going on. But look, the Bills, they've got to take advantage of home field advantage. That means Bills Mafia, 12th man, the original, the OG 12th man, before Seattle tried to take that shit on us, right? Yes, us. We got to show up. We got to be loud. We got to be proud. We got to make an impact here, particularly on third downs when Dallas has the ball. We've got to cause some false starts. We've got to make this a rowdy, hostile place to play, and we've got to be able to do that and sustain throughout the entire game. I know it's a later game, right? Bills fans are used to getting up and drinking at 6 in the morning and being rocking ready to go by 1, and they're done by 4. You got to pace yourselves, Bills Mafia, because this game is another 425er. Dallas, all 3 other losses on the road. Bills been pretty good historically under Sean McDermott and Josh Allen, and really as a whole at home. Those 2 things have to come to fruition, and the Bills got to take advantage of that home field advantage. That's number 1. Number 2, we got to see the Joe Brady offense continue to evolve. I thought he called a very good game in Kansas City. They saw some things on film they took advantage of. I thought the dialing it up and the balance between the run game and the passing game was fantastic. There was a little bit of issue there towards the end of the game. We didn't get enough time off the clock. We stalled in the red zone, left way too much time to Kansas City. Can't make those type of mistakes. I need another strong performance, another strong game plan on Joe Brady and Josh Allen, and this offense needs to execute as they have the last 3 weeks. And guess what? You got Micah Parsons and one of the better defenses in the league coming to town. So you really got to be on your cues. Again, benefit that it's at home. Last but not least, win the turnover battle. You know, we're going to talk about this every week. I think Dak Prescott hasn't thrown an interception since week 10 against the Giants. Let's snap that streak. Let's also snap the CeeDee Lamb streak. A guy can dream. CeeDee Lamb's had an outstanding career. But it'll be interesting to see what Sean McDermott does here with his defense and how he takes guys away and if he's able to have success. But that's, to me, Mills, those are the 3 keys to success.
Those are the keys, but really what I want to see is just Jerry Jones cry. So, and it better not be tears of joy, goddammit. I really want to see a grown man cry. That would just make my heart sing. It's maybe all I want for the holidays. I'm going to need a final score prediction from you, but first we're going to look back at how you did last week. In week 14, you predicted the Bills would win 34-27 against the Chiefs. They won, but you were definitely a little bit too high on both teams. The Bills won 20-17 in Kansas City. This week, it's in Buffalo. You're at home. The Cowboys think they're Will Ferrell and old school. They're streaking. Jamie G and the Bills going to shut them down. Final score prediction.
Man, this is going to be again, big game for the Bills here. I really like that it's home. I'm hoping there's some wind, rain, snow, cold, some weather here to go along with home field advantage. I've got the Bills winning this one at home. Dallas can be beat. It's a lot easier to do when they're on the road. I got the Bills winning at home, but I think this is going to be more of a defensive type game than people think. I got the Bills winning this one 28-24. Go Bills.
28-24. We like it. And before we get out of here, 'tis the season. Jamie G, what's the one thing that you should buy as a gift for that Bills fan in your life?
Man, tons of great swag out there. Tons of great Bills gear. I, though, have got to go with some of the Bills accessories. Big fan of the Bills flask. It's great for this time of the year. They make it in 3 different sizes. Nice Bills emblem on there. Fill that baby up. Keep you warm. You need a winter warmer this time of the year. Big fan of the Bills flask. Go Bills.
Very nice. And don't sell the Bills socks short. They got some good warm socks.
They do have some great
in Western New York.
Well, knock socks. You can get some knock socks. I mean, Dawson's got his whole line. So
yeah, I don't want to wait for those, dude. I don't want to wait for these knock socks, to be over or what have you. Yeah, very good stuff there. A lot of good gifts for the Mafia. Obviously, you should buy. If you know they have season tickets, folding tables are good. You can always use more folding tables. I don't know if maybe they sell them in an 8-pack at Costco or something. That would be cool. That would help the Mafia out. If not, start doing that. It's probably BJ's up there, to be perfectly honest with you. But shout out Western New York. This has been the Mafia Minute presented by Seize the Gap Fantasy Football. Again, find us wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, on social media at Seize the Gap FF. Do not forget to buy those gifts. You are running out of time. And don't forget the flaps. Follow, like, and please subscribe. All we ask, if you had fun, please click that thumb. And that way you have something to listen to on your way to buy that Buffalo Bills swag or while you're sitting at your computer ordering it via the whatnot.
We'll see you right here on the Mafia Minute next time. Go Bills!
The time's come for changes. Do something or I will. The time's come for changes. Do something or I will.